Hi, my name's Pete Rainford, you're watching Rainford's Wood Studio. Kind of in the groove at the moment with cutting boards, so I've got some white ash here, some Padauk, some oak, purple heart, a little bit more white ash, so I'm going to make 3 boards I think, and just going to kind of wing it, see how they turn out. Okay, I'm going to make 2 40cm by 30cm, 1 inch thick, or 25mm edge grain, or side grain cutting boards. I've got a couple of pieces of purple heart and Padauk here, so I might not have to cut any of these. They're left over from a previous build. I'm going to use some oak and a bit of white ash to contrast these at some point in the board. Right, let's get to it. Life begins with a mitre saw, or maybe a table saw today. Let's mark these up. So 400mm long. To allow for snipe on the plane of thickness here, I need 96cm. And I'll mark the white ash up as well, although I'm probably just going to cut a strip off that on the table saw and leave it intact. I'm going to get 5 inches out of that, 5 inches out of that, 2 inches out of that, there's the 12 inch. I'll take 2 more inches of white ash, that's 14 inch. So allowing for some cuts to vary the thickness of the timbers. That'll bring it round to around 12 inch or 30cm. Come out and work with both. Right. Okay, so we've got some oak, some white ash, a tiny bit of Padauk and purple heart. I'm now going to run them through the across the table saw to get them to about 30mm strips, so that gives me an extra 3mm to play with when it comes to planing, sanding, etc. To get them down to 1 inch thick. Okay, so table saw time. Okay, so that's all my inch pieces. I'm gonna run them through the table saw again just to vary the thicknesses of these, because I've got about 15.5 inches, 40 centimeters width, which I only need 30, so 3mm of the table saw blade each time. I can afford up to probably 20 cuts if I wanted to, but I'm not going to cut that many. I'm going to cut the white ash, going to cut that one down into 4, that one down into 2. I'm going to have the paduk running down the middle, so I'm going to leave that in one piece because I love that big red piece. Rainford red. I'm going to cut the purple heart into 2, give 2 little stripes somewhere. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 3, 5, 7 cuts. Cut some of that oak into 2, and some of that oak into 2. Those are all 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cuts. Will probably be enough. Cut those into 2 as well. Might vary the thickness on some of these, but anyway, to the table saw once more. Okay, so I've got my strips of wood, they're cut, they're planed, and I'm just going to arrange them into a style that I like. So, centerpiece. Oh. And to accentuate that, we will have a couple of strips of white ash next to it. And some slightly darker stuff with the oak. Slightly thicker that piece. Okay, now a bit more of the oak, I think. Big oak. Change my mind. Wouldn't seem right, would it? Would it? Nah, it doesn't seem right. We can have the oak on the edges. It's too big anyway. Now we're talking. Got 2 big chunky pieces of oak on the edge. Piece of paduk, sandwiched in by 2 thin strips of white ash. Ooh, and some oak. A little bit more white ash. 2 strips of purple heart. 2 more thin strips of white ash. And then it's oak to the edge, which kind of looks like a lot of oak together, but there's 2 grades of oak there, so there will be a colour gradient. Yeah, I like that. If you would have done it different, post me a comment below. Tell me which way you'd have gone. Okay, that's got to be glue up time. Okay, glue up time. Okay, as usual, I'm using Everbuild D4 because it's completely waterproof and it's 100% food safe and strong as heck. Oh. Okay, I'm going to leave that for 8 hours minimum. I've got some heat on it because it's -2 outside in the sunny northwest of England. Okay, see you later guys. Okay, that's had a rough standing of 60 and I now find myself on the 23rd of December and these two boards are supposed to be Christmas presents. So I've got to crack on. And not only that, I need to make 2 more. Best made plans. Anyway, track saw time. Let's get them cut. Plenty. Okay, juice groove's done, round over done. I've still got to sand the corners a bit, they're a bit sharp. I'm not going to bother with handles on these because with them only being 25 to 30 millimeters thick, there's not too much weight to them compared to the 2-inch ones that I do. So when the feet are on, shouldn't be a problem to get fingers under just to lift them up. So, sanding time. Yeah. What have we got? Okay, start off with 80. Okay, I've already I've already rough sanded these with 60 grit. So I'm going to give the grooves, the juice grooves, a sand with 60 grit. Then I'm going to run both boards through my new toy here at 120 grit, hand sand with 120, and then I'll hand sand with 240, pop the grain, 240 again. Might hit it with some 400 after that and see how it is. Okay, boards are done, time for an oil up. Yes! Ooh, someone's getting good Christmas presents, aren't they? It's 100% mineral oil, and then once these have soaked for a good half hour, I'm going to leave them to dry overnight, then put some board butter on and some feet, and they're good to go in time for Christmas. Okay, let them soak up some oil for a bit. Okay, these have been stood overnight, so time to give them some board conditioner, board butter. This is board butter that I make. It's 4 parts mineral oil and 1 part beeswax. I do have a video on how to make it. Just apply some to some tissue or lint-free cloth and apply it generously. Get right in that groove. Okay, I'm lacking on time, so I've got to have these ready today. It's Christmas Eve, and not only have I got these two, I've got to make 2 more for Christmas presents, so I'm going to be busy today. My own fault. I should have got stuff done earlier in the year, but never mind. So, because I'm short on time, I'm going to put the feet on them now while they're drying. Always make sure when you buy feet for cutting boards that the screws and the metal inserts are stainless steel so that they don't rust when they come into contact with liquid when you're washing them or using them, of course. I buy 2 sizes. These are the smaller ones of the 2. For the big 2-inch boards that I make, I put slightly larger feet on. Okay, give these boards a little bit more time just to dry off a bit, and then wipe them down. Okay, let's give these a wipe down and we're done. It's never easy getting it all out with the juice proof. Yes! There we are, 2 edge grain cutting boards with some Padauk, some purple heart, some white ash, some oak and some American cherry in there as well. Look lovely, don't they? Christmas presents for lots of surprise. Oh, Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching. See you next time.